using creativity and purpose to heal. The healing isn't just about scars fading or physical strength returning, though those are certainly part of it. It's a much broader, deeper process that includes emotional and psychological mending, and crucially, learning to manage the lingering physical sensitivities and anxieties that remain after active treatments. It's about acknowledging what's happening inside, the fear, the vulnerability, and then actively trying to overcome those challenges, to cope, to change my response to them. I learned that this kind of healing is a very long journey, one that requires patience, flexibility, and a willingness to actively engage with my own recovery. One of the most powerful ways I found to do this was by using creativity and finding a renewed sense of purpose. The act of creating something, anything, became incredibly important for me, almost like a lifeline. At its most basic level, it offered a much-needed distraction. When my mind was spiraling with worry, or when physical discomfort felt overwhelming, immersing myself in a creative task allowed me to focus on something else entirely. This something else could be anything: learning a new skill, developing an idea, rediscovering an old hobby. The beauty was that it didn't have to be perfect or profound. The simple act of engagement was often enough. This distraction wasn't about ignoring reality, but about giving my mind a temporary, positive refuge, a space to breathe away from the constant pressure of illness. Beyond distraction, creativity became a vital form of expression. There were so many complex feelings swirling inside me: fear, anger, sadness, hope, gratitude. Sometimes all at once. Finding ways to give those feelings a form, whether through writing, like this very book, or even just mentally shaping ideas, was incredibly therapeutic. I know for some people, this expression takes the form of drawing, painting, making music, or journaling. For me, channeling my experiences into words, trying to make sense of it all for myself and potentially for others, felt like a way to process the trauma and find meaning within it. I also discovered that the act of creation could be a powerful tool for tracking progress and rebuilding confidence. It wasn't always about big, dramatic achievements. Sometimes it was just noticing I could focus on a task for a little longer today than yesterday, or that an idea flowed more easily. Consistency in these small efforts, I found, really builds up. You start to see and feel the progress, however slow, and that materializes into a growing belief in your own ability to recover and move forward. This, in turn, greatly enhances your sense of control at a time when so much feels uncontrollable. This period also became one of unexpected self-discovery. With the old routines and pressures stripped away, there was space to explore new things, or to revisit old interests with fresh eyes. For example, I'd always loved photography, but never really pursued it seriously. During my recovery, I started learning more about it, experimenting, just for the joy of it. There was no external pressure, no deadline, just the pleasure of learning something new that interested me. This gentle exploration led me to realize that there were things I'd been doing for years, perhaps out of habit or obligation, that I didn't truly enjoy anymore. And conversely, there were dormant passions or new curiosities waiting to be explored. This process of sifting through old habits and discovering new interests was like recalibrating my internal compass, understanding more about who I was becoming. Creative activities have a wonderful way of opening your mind, sparking imagination, and allowing you to see yourself and the world from different perspectives. It connected me to a feeling of possibility. Engaging in purposeful work, like focusing on my own business ideas that had been on the back burner for years, also played a huge role. It wasn't about the pressure of my old career, but about building something that felt personally meaningful. Having the time and space for trials and errors, for developing new ideas at my own pace, was incredibly empowering. It made me feel productive, capable, and that I was still contributing something, still building towards a future, even when my health was precarious. This sense of purpose, this feeling of working towards something I truly cared about, was a powerful antidote to the passivity that illness can sometimes impose. All of this, the distraction, the expression, the progress tracking, the self-discovery, the purposeful engagement, had a profound impact on my daily mood and overall outlook. It's so easy to fall into depression during the long haul of healing, especially when progress feels slow or setbacks occur. But having these creative outlets and purposeful projects gave me small, consistent wins to focus on. They brought structure to my days, a sense of accomplishment, and a much-needed feeling of forward momentum. I found myself more connected to the future, not in an anxious way, but with a sense of hopeful anticipation for what I could create or achieve next. When doubts about the journey crept in, these activities provided an anchor, a reminder of my own agency and resilience. I learned to talk to myself more positively, to acknowledge the progress. Look how far I've come. I got through chemo, radio, surgery, I'm relearning things. I am getting better. This internal dialogue, fueled by the small achievements in my creative and purposeful pursuits, was crucial for managing difficult emotions and staying focused on healing. It helped me keep boosting that image of the best of myself, the one who could and would keep moving forward. Creativity is the language of resilience. Purpose is the compass that guides us out of the storm. They are the tools we use not just to heal, but to build a new and more meaningful life from the ground up. But these tools require one essential fuel: a choice, a decision we must make not just once, but every single morning when we wake up. Join me this coming Thursday for our final and most important chapter, Choosing Hope, Day by Day. If this story feels important, sharing it with someone who might need it would mean the world. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what comes next. And for the complete journey, you can always find the link to the full book in the description below.